Alright guys, we're going to talk about killer plants today. So we got in a good batch of Venus Flytraps here recently. So I'm going to go over a little bit of the care, how they work, and kind of what goes on with them. So Venus Flytraps are cut from bogs. Here in North America, they're semi-temperate. They like a lot of humidity and kind of sitting in water to stay damp. So here we keep them sitting in reverse osmosis water at all times. That way they can kind of wick up that moisture that they need. We only recommend using reverse osmosis or distilled water. Any other water is going to have too much nutrients on it. That amount of nutrients and dissolved minerals can end up killing off your Venus Flytraps. They do also go through a dormancy phase during the winter where they need a little bit less water, they need to stay moist, and they're going to kind of die back and get really short. And then the following year you warm them back up and they kind of come back to life. Anyways, in here we have two different varieties. We have a red variety and we have kind of a green larger trap variety. You do not have to feed Venus Flytraps. That's kind of, everybody thinks you have to feed them. They primarily get all of their nutrients from photosynthesis, but feeding them is the fun thing to do. That's why people have carnivorous plants. So let's go ahead, we'll feed these guys a little cricket here and get some things going. See what happens if I can just catch it first. That's the key. So with feeding these guys, just to make sure, you can do it completely live, but just so they don't wiggle around, I usually like to kind of smash the head so they don't get out. The reason I do that is if the trap closes without any prey in there, it's not like a muscle development where the muscles close to trap it. They actually go through extreme rapid growth, and they're growing at a rate so fast that closes their trap. Now if you do that repeatedly to a trap without giving it food, the plant's going to die because it's wasting energy and not getting any back. So let's go ahead and look at this guy here. Now there are, if you look really closely in there, there's a bunch of little dark hairs, what it looks like. Now those dark hairs are the trigger point. Multiple of those hairs have to be touched simultaneously with movement at the same time. Well, that's what simultaneously means. So they need to be touched together. That way they're not mistaking it for a raindrop and closing or anything like that. So let's go ahead and we'll take this one here. We'll put it in here. And then you can see how fast that just closed around it as long as I let go. Now it's going to put releases kind of a liquid enzyme onto the insect or whatever it happens to be eating. And that enzyme then slowly breaks it down and they're able to absorb that through the plant itself. Just the key parts on these guys is making sure they're moist in a nutrient poor soil. We usually use sphagnum moss, or you can do a mixture of peat moss and perlite, all of which we do have here for you if you need a repot if it's getting a little too big. And that's really about it. And then putting them through their dormancy phase in the winter. Really easy to take care of if all those conditions are met. But let's go through, we can feed a couple more and just watch a couple of them eat and have some fun. And that is why I do that and kind of kill them. So we're going to give that plant another one just to make sure it gets plenty of energy in there. Open your mouth. There we go.